Hi everyone, I hope you're good guys and welcome for a new video. So today I'm gonna show you this little rack that I call Fatsang, which is basically gonna make you sound fat, especially it work well with the synth. I've done one similar for the bass line. I will put the link in the description. And you know, it happens sometimes you have a nice synth sound, but the thing it doesn't fit well in the mix, it feels weak, and whatever you do, it just doesn't work. And the thing is, when I was creating this session to show you the rack, I create kind of synth which is basically kind of popular kind of sound right now, especially like if you do kind of peak time beatport kind of techno. So I'm gonna show you actually how to design the sound as well, and it's kind of a double tutorial in one. But yeah, just let's listen the sound, the synth sound, the rack, how does the rack affect the sound, and then after we're gonna dig into it. See, without the rack, the sound is there, but and you can see in terms of levels, so yeah, this synth sound, it's been used a lot. I was listening to the beatport chart and it was like, I don't know how many tracks was this kind of synth. So first I'm gonna explain you how I made this sound, and then after we're gonna dig into the rack. So basically you can hear the synth sound is kind of arpeggiator, so we're gonna need for sure an arpeggiator. And I use operator for this one just because I know that a lot of people still use Live 9, so like this everyone can get the preset. Otherwise I would have used probably Wavetable for something a bit more like modern, if I can say so. Yeah, the MIDI is like this. Basically it's playing, the root note is G, and then it's playing one octave upper, and then it's, oh, it's +3 if I don't say 1, 2, 3, and then again. So the main characteristic of the sound is basically, so the arp has to be in 16, and it's sawtooth. But the thing is, here in operator, I'm not gonna use oscillator to modulate each other. I'm just gonna put in parallel, and I'm just gonna stack a different kind of sawtooth waveform, and that's how the sound is made. It's pretty basic sound. It's just different kind of sawtooth slightly detune one to each other. So here I have, if I play the MIDI, and here I'm gonna just switch to sawtooth, and I'm just gonna start to stack them one after. So here as well, another sawtooth, put the volume a little bit up, another one, alright. And for the last one I'm gonna put some noise. It's up to you, if it's just to add a little bit of, alright, and then I'm just gonna change the filter. This is really up to you, it's just to add a little bit of grid, but this you can really experiment with different kind of filter. Anyway, the filter will mainly stay open, and the thing is to slightly detune the different oscillator from one to each other. So one thing I forgot to say is bring the gate of the arpeggiator up. One thing as well you can do is just can play one note, because it's a kind of a mono synth, so you don't need that many voices, you save CPU. You can add the glide experiment as well with that, and then you can slightly detune. So you have to be very gentle with that. You can see it's just like a very few measure. You have to very slightly detune because you don't want this big detune sound, but you still want the effect a little bit. So just experiment with these three fine parameter and detune the way you want to really get different kind of tone. And basically we have our sound. So what I like to do, because it basically is not a bass sound, so we don't really need this low frequency, so I'm just gonna cut. And so you could tell me, why don't you play just one octave upper? But the thing is, if you do that, you don't get the same kind of tone. You see, it's completely different. By the way, for this demo, for this example, it's like kind of a bassy synth sound, but you can play in the higher note to have kind of more trancey kind of sound. And yeah, when you get that, obviously you need a bit of reverb to just make it breathe a little bit. I like to put my decay for descent like this between 2 and 3 seconds, and that's how it sounds. And now what's gonna make it really make a big difference, it's by using basically this rack. So here's the noise. It's up to you. I like to put it a little bit. But yeah, let's dig into the rack itself. So the operator, this preset will be available with this rack as well. The link is in the description. Please like and subscribe before to get the rack. It's helped me. It's helped the channel to grow. Thanks for taking the time for doing that. And let's dig into the rack. So basically, the rack is a combination of tools that I've been using in the past, and I've kind of put them all together in the rack because it happened of one of my track I was working on. The sound was like very feeling weak, and I was trying to really make it stand out in the mix, but without modifying it too much. So I kind of use stuff that you see me probably using in the past. So I got some multiband compression, I've got saturator, and I've got this bright key corpus, and I have a drum bus. So the drum bus is controlled with the second macro, so it doesn't. So even if you are a Live 9 user, I will just put the same rack but without the drum bus, but it still works as a trait. So how I've done that, so first I'm gonna take this utility, but I'm gonna just group it and I'm gonna explain you. So the input is basically is just a utility, and I put it like this, and it's just to control the input in case it's too high or if it's too low. You can, it's just having a gain volume control at the beginning. Then the first device I use is multiband compression. So I used this. I take this preset. So this rack, I've used it in one of my template. I don't remember. I think it was the Modern Techno 1 or the Industrial Techno 1 or 2, and it's basically very hard, very tough multiband compression. Let me activate everything. You can just see how brutal it is. The ratio is infinite, and even here it's going minus 24. So you can. I've been even. What I've done, I bring this. The more you're gonna bring it down, the threshold, and the more it's gonna basically affect this band. So I put around minus 55 all, and I just boost a little bit the med. And I just bring down a little bit the output. Ah, wait, I need to remove this one because that's what it was. And then once I have that, I assign to macro 2. And what I'm doing as well, the toggle on or off, I assign to macro 2. And I'm gonna rename it loud. It's just didn't know how to rename it. And then what I'm doing, I'm going to click on map. So this one is the on toggle off, and I put 1 to 27. Like this, when the macro is at 0, it deactivates the device and it saves you CPU. And the percentage, usually I don't go never to the maximum. So let's say I will put 50%. And this way, when it's 0%, it's deactivated. And when I go at 1% up, it's on, and then it's on all the way. And then second thing I add, it's saturation. So if you're familiar with my video, you know I use it on everything almost. It's just adding a little bit of harmonics. Here's the same. I've just assigned to the macro, the toggle to the macro again, and same, put 1, And here I can leave maybe 100% because anyway. Alright. And then one of the last. So if you familiar with my video, you know I use this a lot. It's a Corpus plugin, and I've got this preset bright key. I think if you have this preset in live by default, it's right snare, and I think I've kind of tweaked it and to make it work with kind of key instrument. And you can see there is some similarity. I just changed the membrane, I put plate, and I kind of tweak it. Honestly, I cannot really explain exactly what everything does, but it works really well, usually with very mid-high instrument. And same here, you need to be very gentle, maybe don't go more than 30%. So I'm gonna apply it to the macro. I'm gonna put this as well to macro up, and this I'm gonna put bright key 50%. Yeah, so that's the way. All right, and then what I've done, so I've put a drum bus just as an extra one, and I've put in medium saturation. So crank up the drive. You have different tone. Obviously, I don't need the hard because the hard is gonna add too much low frequency, but medium is fine. I deactivate the compress. Add a bit of crunch. And yeah, that's it. Just very gentle one. I'm just gonna map on the different macro because this one is really an extra one. And the thing is, the drum bus by default adds a little bit of color, so you're gonna see what I mean. Just put 127. Okay, and so I'm gonna remove the mapping just to show you the on-off, what everything does individually. But yeah, I don't know if you can hear, but drum bus by default, even if it's 0%, it's always kind of color your sound, and this I didn't want it, so that's why I put it on the separate one. And yeah, so you can see how the bright key really brings up this mid-high crispy notes. Saturator just add harmonics and make things shine. And yeah, the multiband compression just add a bit more body to the final sound. And so yeah, when you got them all together, and then what I've put on the final one is it's a limiter if you really want to go super loud. So just me remove this one, is very loud. And I've just put the gain on the output, so macro 4, and I rename it output. And like this you have control as well. If you don't want something to squash, or if you really want to squash things, it's just allowing you to have more control over your output. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much what I've done, how I set up the things and everything. It's really and yeah, one last thing for this kind of stuff, if you want to make your sound a bit more stereo, so I haven't made a rack just for this kind of sound because it's, you can see it's just, I mean, there was no need to put in the rack. It's a very typical kind of sound. You can just save your operator in your library and you can grab it later on, or you can group everything together if you want to save it as a whole. That's really up to you. And yeah, you can add as well a stereo quickly, just up. So yeah, if you want to add stereo with the has effect, just bring the delay on time, bring around between 8 and 15 milliseconds, let's say, feedback to 0, and then you can remove the filter basically and then drive it. If you want the sound more in the side. And yeah, that's how you get this kind of sound. That's how you get a very loud sound. So obviously this applies to any type of techno, any sound. You can, I designed it for synth, but it might work even well as well for pad or even percussion. But yeah, that's kind of my, I will not put it on every track, but if I have a track that really needs to pop up and put it on the front, I will use that. Or you can just take one element, you know, you just grab the rack and you just take one element out of it and you just use one. That's, yeah, you can experiment. You can obviously make your own rack as usual. If you want to know about the drum, it's just a kick from my black hole that I have layered. The rumble is coming from my kick verb rack as usual, and the drum is, it's as usual, it's like, you know, I usually always use the same close hi-hat with open hi-hat offbeat, and same part is from the same part are coming from my black hole techno library. So yeah, that's how you get this kind of synth. Okay guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe before to download, and see you soon guys. Bye bye.